Today we're going to be talking about how to craft a market dominating offer for your Shopify brand. So first of all, before starting, I want to introduce a bit about myself. So who am I? My name is Vito Baterkadis. For those who are new to the channel, I run CROEvolution, our CRO and split-testing agency for DTC E-commerce brands in the 7 to 8 figure range. And in the last year, I've run a lot of winning split tests that have converted multiple six figures in additional revenue for my clients. As you can see here, a few examples: 73% increase in RPS with $110,000 plus monthly. And then here 1,300 plus orders monthly, and $76,000 in additional revenue. But let's go forward with what this video is about. So let's talk about offers. Offer is probably the most important piece of the puzzle for a brand. Is where the money is made or lost, and it can hurt very bad in the latter case if you're losing money. So you have a product and you want to sell it. You can take your costs, add a markup on top, and just sell the product, and that works very well. But chances are the same product could be sold much better, and you could sell much more of it with a proper offering in place. There are a few issues with brands when they make up their offers and their product offering, and these are the three main problems with that. First one is awareness, second one is presentation, third one is value. What do I mean by those? We're going to go in depth on every one of them. And the first one is awareness. Truth is, you can try coming up with as many offers as you want, with as much value packed in them as possible, and you still wouldn't get sales. Why? Because you lack awareness, knowledge about your ICP, your ideal customer profile, and what they're looking for or what they need. You missed the most important step of the process, which is research, and the first step of the process is what we do at CROEvolution before we start working with any brand that becomes our client. So here you can see this is a screenshot from my Miro board on how to conduct split tests. You can find a 20-minute guide for brands to start CRO on my YouTube channel. But this is the first and most important part of it, which is research. You need to start gathering data about your ICP, and there's in the rect box, as you can see here, there are a few inputs on what you can look at for that, but you need to go more in depth on your ideal customer profile and conduct research to understand the who, the what, the why, and how of the target customers you want to sell to. So the first problem of brands when coming up with product offerings is awareness about their ICP. The second issue is presentation. So how you present your offer is as if not even more important than how much value you pack in it. If you fail to make people see or at least perceive the value that you're offering, you're not going to get sales. And I also made a video on this, on how to structure your presentation. And here I have a few examples, the same examples that I've shown in depth there. I'm just going to show them here. But if you want a more in-depth explanation on them, you can go to check that out in that video. But these are a few examples on how to present offers clearly. And there is a lot you can unpack here in these buy boxes. But as I said, you can check that out in that video I put out. But yeah, you need to make the value that you're putting out perceived by the customers to make sure you get sales and they understand what they are getting from you. And this is the second problem with product offerings. Third problem is value. Most brands just stitch together everything, so discounts, cross-sells, bundles, and anything they can add on top, they just add randomly, hoping for Shopify cha-chings to flock in. Meanwhile, their margins are getting destroyed, and they don't even know what's the long-term impact of these changes. When doing changes on offerings, since we mentioned before that offer is probably the most important part of it, you need to know what impact these changes have on your brand. You can just wing it out and just change stuff in your offering, and then find out months later that it hit your margins very badly, or it lowered very important health metrics or health margins of the brand, just because you wanted to test out stuff on your offering. You need to know what's the impact, especially when you're talking at scale, so 7, 8, 9 figure brands. You need to know what's the impact these changes are having on your brand's health. So value is also very important to look at before you implement these kinds of changes. And CRO solves all of these three problems. I never really liked the acronym CRO, and I mentioned this in every video. It stands for conversion rate optimization, but we're not just looking at CBR here, which is arguably a vanity metric. We want to make sure the brand grows all around the board and our offering resonates with our target customers. And that's why I use the term traffic optimization, and I use that to mention the process of actually coming up with offers that make sense and that sell more and better for your brand. So how can you craft the perfect offer for your brand and for your product? 3 steps again here. The first one is research. The second one is adjusting your unique value proposition. And the third one is test and refine presentation. And we're going to go in depth on every one of them. The first one is research. As I mentioned before, the first issue was awareness. Obviously, the first step to craft perfect offer is research. There's a lot of things you can unpack on your ideal customer profile, but I like personally to start directly from the customers. And one thing I like to do a lot is look at the reviews. There is gold mines of information in what customers have to say about their experience, what pain point they had before buying the product or getting to know the brand, how the product helped to solve that pain point, and how they felt about it. Feelings are very important here. A lot of people discard feelings when coming up with this stuff to just go more logical on benefits and why the product is better, why it does more stuff. It's and all of that stuff. They focus a lot on the logical side of it, but how someone feels about your solution, your product, is very, very important, because customers buy on feelings, not on logical decisions. They justify they justify buying the product after they made the feeling-based decision of buying it. So you don't need to go full-blown analytical when starting out. I put here again the first step of the process I showed before. You don't need to go heavy into all of this when just starting out. A first simple step I really like to use is this one. So when you start having a lot of reviews, you can use the aid of AI, of algorithms that can understand what's the sentiment about the reviews. But yeah, you can look at reviews and get a very good understanding of what is that the customers are looking for when buying your product. And this is great information because you can leverage then in the future to craft offers that resonate with the type of people you want to sell your brand to or your product to. So that's very important. First step, research. Make sure to not miss out on this vital part of the process. The second step is adjusting your UVP, your unique value proposition. So now that you know who you're selling to, you also know what is it exactly that they want out of your product. And by knowing that, you also know how to catch the exact need or feeling with your copy and visuals that your ideal customers is looking for. And by doing that, you can attract the same segment of people who are also in search for that need but hadn't discovered your brand until now. You can use this information as ammunition in your messaging, in your advertisement, in your creatives, on your landing pages, to really kneel in that need or that want or that feeling that your target customers want solved. And you can leverage that, as I said before, in all of your marketing to reel in more of this kind of people that you're selling to. So adjusting your unique value proposition and knowing, thanks to research, what your ideal customers want is essential to do this, and to set a clear UVP for your brand. And the third one is test and refine presentation. So now that you're armed with a clear understanding of your ICP and a clear UVP, the 2 before steps, you need to present that in a way that makes your perceived value effectiveness better than other available solutions. And I've made these caps and bolded it because it's very important. Customers will buy even at premium and higher prices when the perceived value of the offering is high or higher than the competition. How do you know what works, what doesn't, and the possible long-term impacts though? Split testing. So this is very important. You need to make customers perceive what you found out through the first 2 steps, so through your research and through defining your value proposition. If you can find a way to make that perceived value higher than the competition, you have the freedom to set the prices that you want and set premium prices. And even at those prices, if the perceived value is high enough, they will still buy. But how do you know that? You need to have a clear reference for how the numbers are looking for your new offering or angle. This is done by split testing, obviously, and here I've put a screenshot of a recent test we've ran for one of our clients. This is a test that didn't really target the offer, but this is just to give you an example of how this works. You basically split the traffic between two variation of the same page or of the same section on your landing pages, on your stores, or whatever it is that you're testing, and you can see in real time what is the variation that is performing better and is working better and is resonating better, because it's getting more conversion, it's getting higher AOV, it's getting more revenue per sessions. And as you can see here, this is an example of one that worked very well with great results for this brand. But yeah, you need split testing to actually see what's the long-term impact those changes have on your brand and on your perceived value, instead of just winging it and looking at dashboards randomly. But yeah, the tool for that is split testing. Next step is my done for you traffic optimization system. So if you're a DTC brand owner, I'm sure you're already working hard on the business. Most owners tell me they don't have time to dive into CRO and how it works, let alone actually implementing it, but they understand how vital it is to growing consistently as a brand over the long term. So that's why I partner with them and implement my full system from A to Z to consistent and compounding growth, taking care of all steps of the process. So research, coming up with hypothesis, prioritization, design and development, infrastructure setup, data tracking, analysis, and reporting. So everything that's behind the split testing, because you don't just use a split testing tool and then run up split tests that fast, but there are a lot of steps that are covered and need to be done behind that. So those are all of the steps that I've listed here. So if you want to implement the same system for your brand and scale to the next figure, you can book a discovery call at CROEvolution.com. I will have that link down in the description. But if you're not ready for that, that's completely fine. You can follow me on my other platform, where I share all of my learnings and my case studies about CRO and running split tests that actually work and grow brands up to their next figures. So yeah, you can follow me on these platforms, Twitter, LinkedIn. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll keep posting videos about my learnings and what I found out about split testing. And yeah, see you in the next video.